Welcome everybody back to Football As We See It. This is Floydy, the Seaside Geordie, and with me is Jebby, the postman who does not fail to deliver. How's it going, Jebby?
Yeah, bad Floydy, lad. Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a monkeys, eh? Rory McIlroy, come on.
Oh yeah, golf Masters champion, isn't it? He's only been trying to get it for 15 years, isn't he?
Fucking hell, I know. Long time. 14 years, 15 years, yeah. Finally he's done it.
His first year was the closest since this year, wasn't it? I'm not a big golf follower, but he's been nowhere near it, has he, for a long time?
Well, the Masters, I think he came second a couple of years ago, but yeah, it's been a long time.
In that bit like Arsenal, second gets you nothing, does it?
Yeah, I like it. What are you doing there with your shades on? I know. Absolutely freezing here.
Back at home, it's 35 degrees. Hair's gone. I've apparently taken 10 years off myself with getting rid of all the grey hairs. I'm back at it, just going for it.
Back in Dubai.
Yeah, loving life back at it, ready for this episode. So it's been a big one. We've got Champions League to pick up on and a full week of Premier League. And we can't go out without starting. Newcastle have just won 2 back-to-back games. Yes! But we'll talk about that after. We'll talk about that afterwards. So we'll have to start with Champions League, but how's it going? Have you had a good weekend? Have you been busy?
Quite quiet, really. I've got a busy one this weekend with a stag do. So
where you going?
Yeah, this one's a quiet one.
Who's stag do?
I've got beefy stag do this Saturday.
Is it?
Yeah, getting married next month.
Yeah, so you're gonna make sure on his stag do that you make everybody subscribe.
Oh, definitely. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're talking about Pete and Jeb's Football As We See It podcast.
Right, well, let's start with Champions League. It was 4 absolutely amazing games of football, and so many good goals, literally. And it just shows why they're the best 8 teams in the world at the minute.
Yeah.
Let's just start with Arsenal, Real Madrid. 3-0 Arsenal. I mean, it was
absolutely unbelievable.
A lackluster performance, would you say, by Real Madrid, or great performance by Arsenal? But
a bit of both.
Yeah,
bit of both.
But one thing we can't take away is the fact that them 2 free kicks were probably the best free kicks I've ever seen in one game.
Yeah, they were, to be fair. Absolutely unbelievable, weren't they?
Yeah.
And by a guy there's not really renowned for taking free kicks, so that's even more special, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, how he did him and put him away. But Real Madrid had a few chances, didn't they?
They had a few breakaways, didn't they?
Not as many clear cut, like where you'd say that had to be a goal. But what you've got to think with Real Madrid is the players were that good in that team that they could have scored the goals. It's like not necessarily your average players could have, but then players could score any kind of goal like that. So
yeah, that's I said. You got to be careful with Real Madrid because if it's Bellingham or Rodrigo or Mbappe or Vinicius, they can hit you at any time, can't they? So I often have to be on the guard, didn't they?
Yeah. So it's going into this week coming. It's now Monday the 14th of April. How do you think it's going to go on? Do you think Arsenal will hold on well by the time this gets out?
Yeah, I think Mbappe got sent off yesterday, didn't he?
Does that mean so it's out of it? Is he?
No, it's not out of the technology affect the Champions League, but it could affect his morale and stuff like that. I don't know.
I don't think
it was an absolute awful tackle as well. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I have seen it, and I don't think it'll affect anything because they're not going to win the La Liga anyway. So the only thing we can win is the Champions League. So he's got to play the game of his life.
Yeah, Real Madrid are going to have to play the game of their life, aren't they?
Definitely.
I don't think Arsenal conceded 3 goals in any game this season, so they're going to have to do something.
But we have conceded 2 a couple of times, though.
Yeah, they've conceded 2, but they need 3. Don't they? Without a reply. So,
but yeah, and I think who scored 2 against them twice? Do we know that?
Soon.
Have we got that one on record? Has the editors got that? Yeah, Newcastle United.
I know. Yeah, both. They scored 2. Yeah, home and away, weren't they?
Home and away. Yeah, but yeah. So it's a massive climb in it. But I mean, certain players just played the game, didn't they? And Rice just did the unbelievable, didn't he? He did the unbelievable and the unexpected. That's what I'd say. Like, no one for a minute thought them two were going in. Even Mbappe, you see the reactions after them goals go in. And it was,
the second one where he's just like, well, what can he do? Can't do anything.
Oh, that's it. From a set piece as well, no one can do anything. If you're putting him in them places in the goal, you could have 3 goalkeepers from there, and nothing's happening, is it?
No. But we've not even talked about the third goal. That was a cracking finish from the edge of the area by Marino, wasn't it?
It was a great finish. And to be fair, there was no chance. Courtois could not have got any of them 3 goals, and that's the best goalkeeper in the world. He couldn't have got it.
No. I think the wall could have been better on the first free kick. I think there could have been an extra body in there.
Are you being serious? No. Could it? You're taking a lot of the light off Declan Rice there. Who would have thought he was going to do that? No one.
No. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. The second one, the more I see it, I know we had a little chat about it, saying I thought the first one was better, but the second one, the more I see it, it's just like, it hits the inside of the top corner, just under the bar. Yeah. Like I might go as far as saying I think the second one is actually better, because I don't.
You could view for the camera in it. The second one.
You could have also
off when they go in the roof of the net.
Yeah, but when you just said then they could have had a man in the wall extra on the first, you could have put 10 men in the wall for the second one, and it was still going to go in the same place.
Yeah. Oh, the 2 absolute beauties, and 2 we probably never do ever again.
Yeah. So an unbelievable game, and I'm really looking forward to this week. I'm hoping it'll go 2-0 Real Madrid, to be honest. As a football fan, that's where I'm hoping it'll go. So it's going to be really close late on. And we'll see what happens.
I predicted a 2-1 victory for Real Madrid, which will put Arsenal through 4-2 on aggregate. That's what I predicted this week.
What about Aston Villa?
I know, it's on Amazon Prime tomorrow night. I'll be watching that.
It was a shame, weren't it? It was a shame that 3rd goal went in.
It was. It's probably... I think the tie's probably over now, isn't it?
It looks like it, but within 1 minute, like 1 minute away from it not being over, and then it was over. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's harsh, isn't it? It's harsh when you put it like that, but off the quality
you just can't see Paris Saint-Germain not scoring at Villa Park. You just can't see them scoring.
No, I agree with you. From the quality of that game, you can't see them not doing anything, can you? Like, they created a lot of chances. Do you know what? I'd go as far as saying it was a little bit like the Real Madrid-Arsenal game, apart from Aston Villa finished one of the chances. Yeah. Because Aston Villa had chances, but Arsenal were more dominant, and Paris were more dominant, but Aston Villa did have the chances.
Look, whatever happens, Aston Villa, they've done unbelievable well to get to the quarters, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's no one remembers that. I mean, come on, Leicester got to the quarters, didn't they, back in 2016? And you can give it as much joy as you want, but it doesn't matter, does it?
I know, but when you're coming up against quality like that, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Leicester did it up with a West team, didn't they? People forget that. Yeah. Everyone's giving. I mean, I love Aston Villa. I've got family connections, but Leicester did the same job 10 years ago, and exactly the same, and no one talks about. But it is what it is. Inter Milan, we called that one. I called that one, didn't I? 2-1 against Bayern. Bayern drew with Bayern Borussia Dortmund this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. They dominated the game. Borussia Dortmund had like 2 or 3 chances on the count. Scored 2. So,
well, saying that, Borussia Dortmund had a good few chances against Barcelona as well and couldn't score. Yeah. That was
they're so open though at the back though, Borussia Dortmund. Jesus Christ, can put a knife through them. Jesus Christ, they're so open. No wonder they concede so many goals.
So, on the Champions League point of view, obviously, Barcelona were unreal. And as we keep saying about La Masia, the players that they've brought out of that youth is incredible. And I personally want them to win the Champions League just for the fact that who they've got through. I mean, Lewandowski must be licking his lips knowing that the age he is, and he scored 2 goals again, and he's playing with all that youth and like Yamal, and it's just unreal. It's unreal the performances they're putting in.
I know, it'd be nice to see a PSG Barcelona final. That would be interesting.
It would. Very interesting.
Then Barcelona's got options to rest all the players in midweek because they obviously know the tie's over, don't they? So,
It's never over, but I know what you're saying. We're not going to. Yeah, 5 goals is.
4-0.
Yeah.
Overturn that.
It's not going to happen, is it? Let's be fair. It's not going to happen.
No. I think Dortmund might win, but it could be 2-1, 2-0. It's not going to be enough.
Because they're still chasing to win La Liga, aren't we? Barcelona, to be fair. Obviously, we're in front, but it's a lot closer than any of the other leagues in Europe at the minute. Well, Italy's still close.
Yeah, is it 5 or 6 points?
Yeah, we game in hand as well. Game in hand on the others.
I've got a squeak of a chance, but can't see them.
But again, we all know, like, football is a weird game, and every single game's different at the minute. Coming into this stage of the year, and that'll bring us on to the Premier League this year, this weekend. Let's go in at Chelsea. Like, Chelsea 2-0 down to Ipswich, are drawing 2-2.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And we talk about a coupon buster.
Yeah, 2 really good goals as well by Ipswich. Really well worked goals.
It was. And how good was Sancho's finish, to be fair, as well?
Yeah, Sancho's finish was excellent. Curling, he was due one of them money. He's been a big part player recently, hasn't he? Well, for a number of years, but that'll do him a world of confidence, that goal.
It's a bit like Doe, was it? Doe? Scored for Paris Saint-Germain, the goal to put them 2-1 up.
Yeah, it was similar, yeah, the way he's just curled it into the top corner, yeah.
He's 19, that Doe. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
But yeah, Chelsea, they kept on going. They probably should have won it at the end as well. Well played. Leicester. Ipswich has taken 4 points off them in the debut season, the Prem. So,
But let's not avoid that. How good was Sanchez in there?
Sanchez?
He had a good game, didn't he?
Yeah, probably one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst defences I've ever seen in my life as well for Chelsea.
I know, since Rudiger left for open, aren't
I know, yeah. Since that headless chicken has left, they've gone even worse.
Because he kept them stable. One of the best defenders in the world kept them stable. That's what usually happens, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what Sol Campbell said. He's one of the best. He must have been on some drugs, Sol Campbell, when he said that.
I tell you who else. But let's say I was watching I was listening to some of Rio Reacts, and Rio Ferdinand, he does mention it as well. So I honestly, and I think it as well. So I honestly do think this is just a serious jebby opinion, but he just doesn't like the guy. But
I've just never rated that Rudiger. Never. I've just well, you know that anyway. So we'll all go there.
But there's a reason he's gone from one Champions League winning team to another Champions League winning team. It can't be because he's bad. But
no, you're right.
Like I said, we'll avoid that. We'll avoid that one for a bit. But
yeah,
where does that leave Chelsea now? Where does it leave them?
Well, they've still got a chance for top 5, haven't they? But they're just not consistent enough at the moment, are they? So you've got to favour like teams like Newcastle. I still think Forest have got a big say as well. They've got a nice fixture list. I know, obviously, fixture list in the Premier League. You can't read on fixtures. Every game's so difficult, but they have got some nice fixtures, Forest still. I'd love to see Forest still do it.
Yeah, I'd love to see them, but they're making it a lot harder than expected, aren't they? And I mean, talking as a Newcastle fan myself, Newcastle are now, with the game in hand, 2 points ahead of them. They've got Tottenham this week, and Jesus Christ, Tottenham's a whole different conversation because you don't even know who's going to turn up there, do you?
They've got the Thursday game as well, haven't they? At Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Not just at home, it's away. I think Forest can go there and win that. I really do.
Well, we need to, don't we?
Yeah.
We have to. If they lose 3 games on the bounce, if they lose 3 games on the bounce, I'd go as far as saying it's over. Champions League shot's over, because dropping 9 points like that, I mean, they've kept it so well. And I was there saying that after 30 games, I think we're strong enough now to keep it there. 8 games remaining.
Yeah, I still think they've got enough in the final 6 games. They've still got to play Leicester at home, haven't they, as well?
Yeah.
They've still got some good West Ham away, Brentford at home, so they've still got some nice fixtures as well.
West away, I wouldn't say is a nice fixture.
No,
You were talking
fourth
yesterday. Yeah, but what does that mean? What does that mean in the Premier
No,
League?
it doesn't mean anything. They've got to turn up, but I think they've got well enough Forest on the counter attack to win that game. But let's just start one game at a time. Hey, mate. So we'll see, won't we?
This is a World Premier League we're talking about, not the English Championship, the World Premier League.
Oh no, it's very competitive, isn't it?
Well, it is like we just said then with Ipswich and Chelsea. Chelsea had to win to get into that fourth position.
Right, okay. Islands. All right, Cole.
Chelsea had to win that and went 2-0 down, drew 2-2. I just love it.
Yeah.
The last 8 games, 10 games of the season, nobody has a clue. Nobody has a clue what's going to happen.
No, they don't.
You're talking about players having pay cuts and stuff like that. I mean, imagine someone said to you now, if you don't win your next 3 games, you're going to get a 50% pay cut. I know. You'd be trying a bit harder, wouldn't you, all of a sudden?
You would. And then you've got like Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester are pretty much going to be relegated this weekend. You've got nothing to play for.
Oh, they have.
Dangerous top 10 teams as well, can't they?
No, I don't agree with that. The club hasn't got anything to play for, but then players want to play Premier League football next year. So then players like who scored for Leicester to make it 2-2. There's a few good players. I can't even say his name.
It's the centre half that scored it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he scored the first one. It hasn't started for about 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, it was the left winger, wasn't it? Not Madueke.
No.
He's a left winger anyway. He's a dangerous player.
He is, but what he's in his place, so he's Mavidi.
Mavididi.
So how's people like that now? They know they're going down, so they want to play Premier League football next year. People forget about. They go, oh, they're down. It doesn't matter. Delap wants to carry on playing. Mavididi wants to play. El Canoes as a centre half.
Yeah.
He wants to be at a better club next year. These players are now trying to state where they want to be. And so you can't just think, oh, that's it, it's over. Tyler Dibbling for Southampton. People like that. These are all commanding big moves to the Premier League. So for someone to go, we've got Leicester away, it's an easy win. When these players now need to be in every team's mind, I think it's naive to say that it's an easy win for stuff like that.
The 3 worst teams, aren't they, that have come up?
Yeah, no. Oh, they're not. It happens quite often, doesn't it? I mean, more often than not, 2 of the 3 as a minimum go back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this time 3 of the 3. So usually,
I think it's different when Leeds go up next season. I think they're gonna rip it up a little bit next season, in my opinion.
Oh, for 1 year maybe, like they did last time, and then go straight back down. It happens. Yeah. It happens every year, Jebby.
All right. No.
It happens every year. We see this. Like, what? It's not going to change. If anything, it's harder now because these teams can't compete with FFP.
True. Yeah.
So it's just going to be like this. The bridge is getting bigger and bigger between Premier League football and surviving. And that's FFP. How are Burnley meant to compete in the Premier League next year? Player power wise. I'm not talking about, obviously it could happen, but player power.
Well, they're going to have to do what they did this season and be ultra defensive, aren't they? But it's just not going to work in the Premier League because there's so much quality now, isn't there?
That's what I mean. So again,
it's odd.
FFP is making massive bridges between football, and it's making the top 15 in the Premier League a million miles between the bottom 5 in a way.
Yeah, it is. It's harder for these promoted teams. I feel for them a little bit.
We don't often talk about this because we're always talking about the top 6 and that, but when we actually talk about that, like, you can only spend your revenue, and Burnley 100% are not making that much money, have they? So,
well, they're not up yet, are they? So let's see what Sheffield United and Leeds, they'll have a big stay as well, won't they? So,
Sheffield United have actually shit the bed over the last 3 weeks. Plymouth beat them.
Yeah.
1-0 up against Plymouth, and then Plymouth beat them 2-1.
I know, yeah.
Some result like that. And I don't think they're good enough. I don't think Sheffield United are good enough. I think Burnley are better than Sheffield United. The best 3 teams that'll go up in that league are Sunderland, for my sins, because I'm a Newcastle fan. I think Sunderland are better than Sheffield United. I think Sunderland,
It'd be
Leeds,
interesting playoff final, wouldn't it, if them two got there?
Sunderland, Leeds, and Burnley are the best 3 teams in that league.
We'll see through the playoffs, won't we? Because anything can happen in the playoffs.
I know, but that don't always say. Do you know what I see in the playoffs? Someone like I see like
Yeah, we can win 4 in a row, and then we'll finish 6th.
yeah, but no, we could. But that's like me saying Newcastle can finish 2nd, and you just laughed that off. It can happen, but it's unlikely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to win 4 battles.
Well, we could if we would have got a decent manager.
Well, I can't blame it on the manager. So all of that's the owners as well. That's why there's loads of protests at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the upsetting thing. You can blame it on the manager because the manager could have been better. He could be a better manager, but that is the owner's fault. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course it is. Fucking shit on get everyone on the cheap all the time. That's why they got him.
But then there's so many good options out there. You could have got. You're in the place to get the playoffs. It was in their hands. They were in a playoff position.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would like to have had some young blood. Maybe Gary O'Neill would have been ideal, but maybe he never was never.
Yeah, what if he was offered it and he didn't want it? What if he was?
Yeah,
you might never know, do you? You might never know. But going back into the Premier League, like Man City 2-0 down at Crystal Palace and winning 5-2. What about that game? I was on the plane for that game, coming back home. What are we saying about that?
Well, that's just City at their best, wasn't it? Just every time they attacked, Kevin De Bruyne finding that space between the lines. It was Kevin De Bruyne of old, wasn't it? Let's cope with it.
Let's talk about O'Reilly.
Yeah, he's young, up and coming, good left back, isn't he? More of an attacking left back, isn't he?
Well, he's a midfielder. He's actually like classed as a midfielder.
So he's been playing at left back, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. So Arsenal.
I agree.
Arsenal, do you think we're going to fuck it up?
For what? Champions League?
No, Premier League more than anything. Well, they can't fuck up the Champions League anymore, really, can they? 3-0 up. But Premier League, we're going to get Champions League if we finish in the top 5. So could we potentially, if they've got another, you could potentially have another 3 games after this weekend.
Yeah, I still think they've got enough to finish second, to be fair.
But you thought
there's probably only, maybe Newcastle are the only probably team that can catch them because they've still got to play each other, haven't they?
Yeah, and Liverpool have got to play them to take points. Plenty of teams can take points off them, though. That's all I'm saying.
Of course they can. Yeah, but that's just the Premier League in general, isn't it? Everyone can take anyone.
But do you think we're not trying as hard because we know we can't win the league? Do you think that actually comes into it?
I don't know. You're all right. Not really. I thought they did enough against Brentford, to be fair, to win the game.
Really? So you're telling me now that the game against Real Madrid can mirror kind of the game they played against Brentford?
Yeah, but they made a few changes against Brentford, so they didn't play the strongest team, but they had still enough out there to win, and they had enough of the bulk of the possession and the chances. They
have the bulk of possession every single game for the last 40 games.
Yeah, they do.
That means nothing. When someone says that now, it's over your head. It absolutely means nothing. Bulk of possession.
No. We still had it, like I said, but you could tell they know the league's over with. Even that game they were playing.
That's what I'm saying. That's the question.
Yeah.
They know the league's over. So do you think?
No, of course they do. But they still want to finish as high as possible. Do you know what I mean? They still
clearly not. Clearly not, or he would have started a stronger team.
Well,
that's my question. Take Newcastle out of it,
Jebby. Deep enough, though, is it? The squad isn't deep enough.
How is it not?
They've got a lot of defenders and a lot of midfielders, but attacking areas, they struggle, don't they?
Well, no,
so you can only put people in, can't you?
The players that they're bringing in, right? You're talking about, and I know who you're even saying, when you're putting someone like Raheem Sterling into the team that's got 4 Premier Leagues behind him and all sorts of nonsense, and you can't say he's not a good enough player. It's not like you're putting in a 17-year-old player with no experience.
Oh, I know. He just doesn't fancy him, though. You can tell that. Was it when he didn't bring him on? Again, I can't remember when it was. It was about a month ago, wasn't it? And he didn't bring him on. He just doesn't fancy him, does he?
No, but whose choice was it to sign him? Do you reckon? Do you reckon it was his choice on the loan?
Well, they don't always have the final say, do they? The managers, do they?
Well, everybody says
They
he actually
get
does.
involved, don't they? But you know, you just don't know, do you? Who has the final say these days?
So going off it, then we think that here's one. Would you say you're confident or you're unsure? Will Arsenal get second place?
I said Arsenal would win the league before the season started, and I said they'll finish second about 4 or 5 months ago. They will still finish second.
You told me we'd win the league 4 or 5 months ago. Before Christmas,
Yeah.
you still told me we'd win the league.
Yeah, they'll still finish second. Yeah, I'm still convinced they'll finish second. Yeah.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
I still think third. I think third, fourth, fifth, sixth, they're all up for grabs, but I still think Arsenal will finish second. Yeah.
It'd be a big fuck up for them to lose second place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they've got well enough to finish second. There's no doubt about that.
But 2 losses against Liverpool and Newcastle could throw it all in the mix, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could do, but let's just wait until before then they can drop points. You don't know, do you?
No, Newcastle and Man United 4-1.
Yeah, brilliant.
What did you see of that game?
Newcastle United one.
I thought the first half Newcastle dominated it, but conceded the goal. And the second, they played all right, Man United, to be fair, the first half. They didn't play bad. They did.
Yeah, they were steady, weren't they?
They did good things. They did what looked like needed to be done at times. Newcastle could have been more up. Xerxes had a good chance earlier on with a 1-2.
That was a really good move that by United.
It was. That's what I'm saying. They're showing good parts of football. They actually did well. In that could have gone a different way.
Yeah.
But the second half, so say first half was 60-40 Newcastle, second half was 80-20 Newcastle.
Yeah. It's just they just can't live with the energy, United. It's when what Roy Keane was saying after the game. What are actually Man United good at? And he was naming a few points, and he's probably right. They're not good at anything, are they? Do you know what I mean? They're just look. The energy in United's team just non-existent at times. Darlow for the was it the second goal? Just doesn't. Just sticks a foot out. That's not a tackle, that is it? It's just silly stuff like that.
A lot of teams do stuff like that, though, Jebby. Like a Liverpool team that win 4-2, nobody looks at the 2 goals conceded and go, "We didn't really try to stop it, did they?" It's very easy to criticise a team that lose.
It is, but it's the way they lose, though. It's the way they lose.
Against a team like Newcastle. Against a team like Newcastle were relentless yesterday, like they were very much similar to the cup final game. And Liverpool didn't have a chance in that.
I know that. You know that. Man United should know that. Pretty much the whole world that's watching football should know that. We know how Newcastle are going to play. We know.
Yeah.
They play with unbelievable energy. They get around the pitch and they're going to be in your faces all the time. So Man United should have prepared for that.
This is what I say to you, though.
Second half. You know what I mean?
But as Premier League teams, I've said this to you, and you often go, "But that's not how the manager sets up." I always say this. Tactically, you should be able to change your team for any game, shouldn't you?
Of course he does, but he doesn't know it tactically because he still keeps playing 3 at the back, so he's going to still play that. Well, it's
not. He's got 5, hasn't he? He's got 5 at the back, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, but let's forget about what tactics. It's all about common sense with Man United at times. When they're out of possession, you've got to get close to people, and they just don't do that. No. It's one of the toughest places to go, Newcastle, at the moment, with the energy they've got. So to be 5 or 6 yards away from players, it's just not good enough. Why are they playing players that should have left about 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, but Casemiro didn't play. Yeah, but why Casemiro's not there? You can't use him as a scapegoat this time. Who else?
No, but why are they playing like players like Ericsson? You can't get around the pitch with Joe Linton playing and all that.
Who's he going to put in?
Well, Kobe Mainoo came on.
Yeah, but
tons of energy.
He's been injured, hasn't he? He's been injured. He's been injured for a while. I think yesterday was his first game back. You're not going to get players injured in a minute, are you?
I don't know. It's just Lindelof. He should have been gone years ago. What was he playing him for? It's just. Sometimes.
What? Yeah, but you just said Lindelof. What goal was Lindelof's fault? personally.
I know, but
you're just slagging players off, though, aren't you? It's a team effort, isn't it? Surely.
It's a team effort, but there should be some leaders on that.
Come on, let's mix this one a minute then, right? You've slagged Andy Robertson off all year. He still came on, scored an own goal, and a shot.
Well, I think Andy Robertson's been average this season, and they're probably
This is what I'm saying. No, I know what I'm saying is you've been slagging him off, but I'm saying you've just then criticised a player like Lindelof, who's like not really done anything directly wrong this year. He's not like made mistakes like Onana has. I'm
not on about what he does on the football, but he shouldn't be playing full stop though. That's my point. What? He should have left years ago.
Lindelof?
Years ago.
Why? He doesn't seem like a game, so he's not a good squad Premier League player. We have people like Emil Kraft and Jamal Lascelles. You have to have them players. Do you expect them to have a world class? Do you expect them to have a Spain centre half on the bench? I don't understand what you actually want from them.
Yeah, but this is what I keep telling you about recruitment with Man United. They should have gone ages ago.
Who's Liverpool's centre halves on the bench? As a Premier League winning team, yeah, who's not a world class player.
Yeah, no, he's an upcoming player. He's 18 years old. It
doesn't matter. He's not a world class player. He could easily make a mistake. You're telling me this guy should be gone?
Yeah, because they've been there too long. Why? This is the whole point of Man United. I keep telling you this about Man United. The players have been there too long, some of them.
Does that mean they can't play? It means he won't play.
Complete pressure, don't they? We know that.
Yeah, but it means he won't play. I think play for the team because he's been there too long.
I think it was more to do with resting players. The first thing, it was embarrassing, really. I don't know. Sometimes I'm watching Man United and I'm really disappointed with them. But that's where we are with Man United, aren't we? So, do you know what? They actually could finish fourth to bottom this season. I'm not exaggerating.
I know. So can Tottenham. It's out of them and Tottenham, probably. Them, Tottenham and West Ham, innit?
Well, if you look at Wolves, they're the best team in the Premier League at the moment. For the last 5 games, they're the form team in the Premier League. That they carry on being the team they are at the moment, Wolves, and then West Ham pick a couple of results. United could actually finish fourth to bottom.
Yeah, but that means nothing. If they finish fourth to bottom, fifth to bottom, sixth to bottom.
I know it's not done yet, but what is going on?
Well, no one says this about Tottenham, though.
Of course we do.
No one does. No one's actually saying it. No one's saying yesterday Tottenham's result was horrendous. Everyone's talking about Man United losing to us when they've lost to Wolves, and at least Man United lost to a team in the top 4. Tottenham got hammered by Wolves 4-2.
They lose, though. It's the way they lost that game.
Losing 4-2 to Wolves isn't bad.
They start conceding 4 goals.
Yeah, to Wolves.
Yeah, it's they're just merry-go-round clubs at the moment, aren't they? Tottenham and Man United. It's a mess.
Yeah,
I think he could get potted in the summer, Angie. Tottenham fans,
he's got one direct look at the game, and I've said this for a long time, and I know you disagree sometimes. You can't just look at the football game one way. It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
Football isn't like that. It isn't like that. So.
No, I agree. Look at David Moyes at Everton, how well he's done.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because he's a good manager. Has managed through good years. It can adjust play to different styles.
Yeah.
He knows who you're coming up against. Yeah, but you know who you're coming up against. Everybody else just goes, oh, we're playing this way. That's it. Let's do this. Oh, we lose again. Oh, but we're sticking by it. We're sticking by it. We won't change. Oh, we lose again. Oh, but we're sticking by my philosophy. It's bullshit. This philosophy shit. Everyone just jumps on some load of bollocks. Newcastle play different. Eddie Howe plays different ways. Slot, to be fair, he plays different ways against different teams. You usually get the same outcome, but he doesn't always set up the same way because he's a good manager.
Yeah.
Moyes sets up different ways. Guardiola obviously knows how he's playing. Maresca keeps trying to set up the same way, which he does, and that's backfiring. He's got quality, but that's backfiring.
I agree.
I just think that everyone's like, a lot of people say like the football's evolving, and like football is evolving. 100% it's evolving, but whether it's evolving in a good way, that's a different discussion.
Yeah, I think it was a good way this weekend, though, because the entertainment value, there was lots of goals, weren't there? So entertainment-wise, it's been good this week.
I know.
We can't run more.
Yeah, but from a club's point of view, when you're seeing teams play this same way again, I mean, like you just said it, Man United and Tottenham being in the bottom half of the league, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
It is madness. Madness.
But Wolves, it does look like they've done enough. The bottom three, Southampton are obviously relegated. Ipswich are gonna go down. I'll be down now. After the draw yesterday, I'll be down. Is that mathematical?
No. I think this weekend, if they lose to Arsenal and Leicester lose to Liverpool, which they probably will do,
Yeah,
they're down.
Looks like it, doesn't it? And Newcastle got Crystal Palace this week, and Newcastle can go into third place.
They can, yeah. It's a tricky game, but
difficult.
I expect Newcastle to win.
Difficult game. We were 1-0 up away to late on last time.
Yeah, they drew 1-1, didn't they?
Drew 1-1. Gay got the assist. I can't think who scored the goal.
I think it was Muniz with a header.
Was it Muniz? Yeah, it was. Gay had crossed it, and it was Muniz that got it. Yeah, it was. You're right. And that was 1-1 in a very, very late situation. At Newcastle, we have to win this because it is going to be a struggle. I say a struggle. It's going to be a much more difficult game against Aston Villa.
I know, at Villa Park, yeah.
Definitely. And I'm not an idiot. Newcastle are going to drop points, but it's in the club's hands at the minute, isn't it? And hopefully Eddie Howe recovers well with the issues that he's got, and hopefully everything works out and sorts itself out. But
well, they deserve to finish. Well,
did he? It's one of them, isn't it? Football's funny. Just when you're saying that, did he deserve to finish? Well, you only deserve what you get, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do. But yeah, at the moment they're flying, aren't they? So you can't knock them.
It's like a lot of people are saying Nottingham Forest deserve to get Champions League, but at the end of the day, if they finish out of that top five, do they deserve it?
Yeah.
Do they actually? If you don't finish in it, do you deserve it? I mean, you've been unlucky. They've been a brilliant team for a long period of the league, but I suppose there's a month left of the league, isn't there, to figure all this out?
Of course there is, yeah. 6 games left.
So the last thing we're going to say before we go, Jebby, because I know it's getting on. What are Liverpool doing signing Salah for another 2 years, paying him $400,000 a week?
It's absolutely crazy. 33 more. I know. I tell you what, he's got fucking rolls of fat on him. He's just like a Wayne Rooney, and he's like a Wazza. What are they signing him for? His fucking stats are absolutely rubbish, aren't they? He's honestly, it's absolutely incredible. Why have they done it? It's just madness, isn't it? It's just, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's crazy. Yeah. He's not scored for about fucking 2 seasons. What's going on?
To be fair, he's not scored for over a month now, which is slightly worrying. But his assist yesterday was far more than like knowing what he's capable of. But I mean, it's not hard to put a ball like that in against West Ham. Let's be fair. I mean, I
was just looking. I was thinking.
It's the equivalent of you put a ball in against.
He's a right winger, isn't he? He's a right wing. I'm thinking, who can do that?
Forward, isn't it? It's a forward. Giggs could have done it. Beckham could have done it. Robin could have done it. Saka could do it.
Well, I'm not sure.
I can keep Lauren Rivera.
Outside his foot, I'm not sure.
Well, he weren't going to run without pace. Come on.
No, I think Kevin De Bruyne is probably the only one that could have done that. Maybe. It was just on a sixpence. It was so good. It was incredible.
It was the equivalent of you doing it against Our Lady. Like, it's like, you look at the caliber of player you're playing against.
Well, I could have never done that. Don't trust me.
Shut up, man.
I might have put it in row Z. But you know.
I think I did that a couple of times. You
did Paolo one shot. You did Paolo one shot. You did.
Right, Jebby, we're going to leave it at that for an episode. And we'll get back after the second legs and the weekend's football again, which is going into game week 32? 33. Game week 33. So, everybody that likes the podcast, what do we do, Jebby? Hit like and hit subscribe. Well, thanks very much. And from Football As We See It, ciao for now.
Ciao for now. Football As We See It.